All right, today we are going to talk about the snatch pull. We are going to start with setup, we'll then go through execution, and we'll talk a little bit about why we might program this movement. So Rachel is going to step up to the bar. Bar is going to be pretty much touching her shins. Feet are going to be anywhere from under the hips to under the shoulders, based off of her hip mobility and her setup. She's going to reach down, take a wide grip. This is going to be the grip that she performs the snatch with. Before she initiates her lift, she's going to wedge her hips in. She's going to squeeze her lats, pulling the bar in tight to her. As soon as she starts to break off the floor, she's pressing evenly through the foot. She traces up the thighs. As soon as she opens the hips, she's going to shrug and allow that momentum to float the bar. Again, at a little bit faster speed. Excellent. Now that we have talked about the execution of the movement, let's go through some common faults that you might see. The first up is going to be the lack of this continuous driving through the floor. It'll look like this. You can see there's just kind of floating nature to it. They hit the extension, but then they just lose all of that connected in their legs. So a good cue to fix this is as they hit their extension, continuously to drive through and squeeze the quads. You can see we get much better extension, much better follow through. Another very common movement fault that you're gonna see in this, and this is gonna be applicable to the full snatch and the clean, is the early arm bend. It'll look like this. Now, that was a pretty subtle early arm bend, and a lot of times they're going to be pretty subtle. And to identify, you just wanna watch the elbow position in relation to the hip. A very helpful cue here is to tell the athlete to push down the entire time until they open up the hip. This is going to allow us to have the best transfer of power from the legs into the upper body. And finally, the third most common fault we're going to run into is the athlete bumping the bar out and away from them at the top. It'll look like this. Now, this is a really simple fault to correct. When we're looking at the snatch pull, we're trying to execute the snatch as we would do a full snatch. So if we're noticing the athlete bumping the bar out, we're simply going to give them the cue to bend the elbows and pull higher up the body, or go into a snatch high pull. Now we've gone through the full extension. Rachel's moving really, really well, and she's still keeping the bar nice and close.